Oh, hi. Welcome to what we call the lake house. Come on in. We're starting from the front door entrance, but just a little backstory. My husband and I moved into this house just a teeny bit over a year ago, maybe a year and a week. We're renting this home, so everything you see here is renter friendly. We are also in the process of building our dream forever home. That being said, there are tons of things that I would change about this place, but this is going to be a very realistic house tour because it is a rental. Lots of light fixtures that I would absolutely change if I could. I would have loved to do wallpaper and molding and things like that, but again, it's not my home to do that too. And also in terms of budget, it's not worth it when we're also putting all this money into building our dream home. But for me, it's so important to make my house a home. My husband, Matt, and I both work from home. We spend a ton of time here. So just because it's a rental, you don't want to put a ton of money into something, I think that you can still make things really homey. So I want to show you how I did that today. I absolutely love it here, and we are lucky because this house itself does have really great bones to work with. It's been so fun to make it our home. So let me show you around. This is our front door, and this is actually a triplex. So we have someone living above us and above us again. And we've been really lucky with really good neighbors. And I'm thrilled that none of them are home right now so that they don't hear me talking to myself. Upon entering, you come in right into our living room, and I don't want to talk about the frame TV, okay? We got this with the intent of mounting it on the wall as one does. We have the frame, we have everything, but we're too afraid to mount it because we think it might be brick beneath the fireplace. And again, it's a rental, so we don't want to be putting massive holes anywhere that we can't fix. I've put a lot of holes in a lot of places, but that's one that I'm very scared about doing. For some reason too, I can't figure out why the art keeps turning on and off. I have a really pretty fall scene. I'll try to put it on, but it's driving me insane. Does anybody else have extreme problems with theirs? I don't know. It's gorgeous when it's one. See, that's pretty. It would be much prettier if it had a frame. I'm gonna stop complaining, it's really not that big of a deal. You can probably see the vision that it was supposed to be, but is not. This is the living room area, and it has so many pieces that I absolutely love, but are very budget friendly. I'm a big Facebook Marketplace girl. For example, this vintage Our House table, it has brass legs and a black marble top. Got that for $20. It is broken. See, but it works. It still works. It's gorgeous, and I love it. Couldn't believe I got it for $20. Oh, there goes the TV. Seriously? This piece was also a Facebook Marketplace find. $50. $50. We have random things on it like sunglasses, cat grooming tools. This is actually everything that we have from our wedding that I saved that I need to do something with, but have not yet, even though we got married 3 years ago. And then all of our like present wrapping and stuff is in this one. This mirror is such an exciting find. I wanted $350 for it, and I got it for $300 because I asked, was like, any way you do $300? And she did. Looked it up online. Guess how much? $4,000, and I would never pay that. So I'm thrilled that it's mine because it's my dream mirror. Lamp is thrifted. I have some coffee table books. Right by the front door, we have this painting that my husband's late grandfather painted. We have some of his art around the house, and he just was so talented. His parents had this framed for us for one of our Christmases, and we just loved it. It's so special to us. We use this for our wedding seating chart, and I have not been able to take off the decal on it because so sentimental, and it's kind of fun to still have. This couch has gotten viral for me on TikTok a few times, and let me talk to you about it. It was, I think, $650, and that is very inexpensive for a couch. I don't think the quality's there for it to last me a forever couch. It cleans really easily. I use the Bissell green machine, and I fully clean it. Sometimes I spot clean it. It came with just a black box leg, and it cheapened the whole look of it, but by adding these vintage inspired like spindle type legs, they really elevated the whole couch and the ottoman. It's really comfy. It's got good squish. Again, we've had this for a year now, and it does sink in a little bit like this, but you know, if you just brush it up, good as just new. Sentiment and personalization are two things that I really try to incorporate in our home in every way possible. For example, this blanket ladder my dad built for me when I moved into my first apartment out of college. I will always have this. I love having things around our house that remind us of our loved ones. On our coffee table, we have just a few things. I don't like a too cluttered coffee table, but I do love this. My sister gave me this box when she asked me to be her maid of honor, and inside of it we have all of the disposable camera photos from our wedding day and all of our wedding events leading up to the big day, and we love to have that on the table because then if we have friends over, they can look through it because they are likely in those photos. Again, with the sentiments, this is just a little catch-all bowl that I got from Goodwill. I don't even know how long ago. It was very inexpensive. It has just a ton of little memories all stacked inside of it. Some wedding flowers. This was for my birthday, my 30th birthday. Some wine cork. I have Matt's birthday candles from this past year. Our kitten's name is Charlotte, so we got this when we were in Paris, actually on her birthday. I just love to keep little things that I can't bear to get rid of, and then it kind of creates a little decor piece. My husband and I love Charleston, and I found this art on Etsy, and I just love it here. It adds a little bit of color. I try to be creative as possible with how I display my wedding photography throughout the house, and while some people don't like to display family photos and such, I think they're so important, and I love to have them around my house. So you'll see a bunch of ways that I did that. With this one, for example, this is a vintage frame that we also used at our wedding, and then we have both of our family portraits in it. Over here, if you can tell, those are two of our wedding photos, and they're printed on fabric that we did on Etsy, and it adds a lot of texture, some warmth. Next to it, this is my wedding bouquet, and this is a vase that we used at our wedding, so that's a really fun way to showcase something from the wedding. I love how they dried. I haven't touched them at all. These hydrangeas are from my garden this year, and it was my first year gardening, so it was fun to bring something into the house that reminded me of that. I actually made these plates. I didn't make the plates themselves. I thrifted the plates on Facebook Marketplace, but then I created the decals using this special kind of paper. They represent the birth year of everyone in our family. So first is our kitten Felix, who was born in February. This one is for both me and Charlotte in October, and this one is for Matt in September. So just kind of an overview of layout. We started over here. This is looking into the dining room, then further into the kitchen. And over here, we have this little nook area that I'll show you, and then we'll move on to my studio / storage room. This piece was another Facebook Marketplace find. I think I got it for $80, and we painted it black. And I say we because I started to paint it black. I did not enjoy it, but my parents are angels and they helped me finish it. And it's not perfect, but it is so much better than it was. It also used to have a glass backing, and instead my dad helped me to put black behind it, and he built me shelves and painted them black as well. From there, I'll quickly touch on my little office area that's right here. I have this desk, which is actually my desk from my childhood. In the dresser, I have all kinds of things. This is like work related with all my electronics. This is actually candles and such, which is just kind of a nice central area to have all of them. These are games. Then on top, I have our wedding album, and I love to have it displayed. I found this on Facebook Marketplace. Then I saw, I think it was Lulu in Georgia, had an ad on TikTok where they had a tapestry hanging from essentially a curtain rod. So that is what I did. For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of this artist. I want to say it starts with an R. Oh, that's gonna bother me. But both of these were thrifted. This was Facebook Marketplace, and then this was at an antique shop. September for my husband, October for me. Now heading into my studio, which definitely shows some signs of life, which I think is a good thing because that's what makes a house a home anyway. Here we have a bulletin board that has a bunch of different miscellaneous pieces from hosting events that I've done throughout living in this house. Looking down, we have a ton of different wooden serving pieces that I use for photography. Next to it is this buffet that I absolutely love. We thrifted this in Chicago on Facebook Marketplace, and it has this gorgeous capiche shell doors. And over here we have Mona Lisa drinking a latte, which is essential in any coffee-loving home, in my opinion. Then over here, I have this cart that has just been here pretty much since we moved in. I use it all the time. Is it beautiful? No. Is it functional? Yes. Right now it's just loaded up with pieces that I need for a shoot that I'm going to be doing this upcoming week, and I just have them all organized, and that's pretty much what it looks like at all times. This table is a family collab, if you will. The top is from my grandma's fruit cellar in her basement, and it has tons of different paint colors and everything on it. It's so heavy, but you see it wobbles a little bit. My dad and I actually made these legs. We bought the actual wooden legs, but then we stained them and we really distressed them to make it kind of look the same as the table. And because I didn't want anything in the middle or like attaching the legs or anything, I don't know, it just wiggles, okay? This is basically where I do all of my video shoots for my food photography and videography. Over here we have this stool that I found for free while I was on a walk one day, and I use that a lot. This easel is Matt's, and him and his grandfather used to paint on it, and I always have loved the look of an easel in someone's home. My dad made me this. It was originally meant for a food photography backdrop when I first started, and I was taking photos on it often, and then I ended up loving it so much that I wanted to save it for art. Over here you'll see I'm starting to collect all of our fall decor and Halloween pieces because I'm ready to start decorating for Christmas, and I'm going to be doing it this week. And over here I have all of my tripods, a lot of thrifted and collected plates and glassware for different shoots and hosting. Just lots of odds and ends that don't have a place elsewhere. This little bookshelf situation is from Target, and I replaced the hardware with those that I found at Hobby Lobby. Before we move on to the dining room, I can't believe I forgot to mention the fireplace, which is what basically caught my eye of this listing in this house in the first place. It has such beautiful detail, and I love looking at it every single day, honestly. It's just gorgeous. Okay, now we can move on to the dining room. From the living room, you can come right into the dining room, and this whole house is kind of a circle, which I've always loved in a house, actually. I recently redid this dining room, and of course, on a budget, I tried to thrift as much as I possibly could, and if it wasn't something I was thrifting, it was something that I wanted to be able to come into our next house. Starting with this table. This table is what I drove the whole feel of the dining room to be around. I was really looking for that like French provincial, a little bit countryside, a little bit Parisian overall feel for this dining room. That's kind of how my whole style leans. And this table I found on Facebook Marketplace, I think for $85. And the woman who sold it told us that it was actually used as a display table in a really old Thai shop, so I thought that was kind of cool. And it really needs refinished. It needs to be totally stripped and redone, but I'm not doing that right now. I don't mind a little bit of a lived-in look. And I was searching for some kind of ornate detail cane back chairs, and look what I found, again, on Facebook Marketplace. I do think I'll refinish them. Right now they are kind of like a creamy champagne with this little like starburst pattern with a little bit of pink on the inside. And I do think I'm gonna redo them at some point, but for now they work. Pretty much all of the florals in our home, except for the roses, are fake because of the kittens, and that's okay. I didn't understand fake flowers before we had cats, but now I understand, I hear you, I see you, and it's so hard to find good looking ones. But they're actually wedding flowers as well that we have dried, and this was my parents, and while we were living with them, they had put my wedding flowers in this gorgeous vase on a stand, and it was in one of their living rooms, and I recently stole it. I was like, I really want that. I want that in my house, and they said okay. This is my pride and joy. This plate wall. I love it so much. All of the plates are from Pottery Barn, and that was an investment, but I knew that I would either always have these for decor, or they're so classic and timeless that I could use them for all of time in our kitchen, for hosting, just anything. But I think they're gorgeous. I love the different styles mixed together. Mixing and matching is like my favorite thing ever. And while I do love a really eclectic looking vintage plate wall, I wanted to stick really neutral for in here because I host so many different types of themed dinner parties. And this way it just always feels like dining room and artistic, but not color forward leaning any type of way. I love what this did for the room. I admire it. This piece was our first ever big furniture purchase, my husband and I. I wanted this so badly, and then it went on sale for Black Friday last year, and I knew we would use it in the new home, so we did invest in it. It's perfect for all of my hosting supplies. I have silverware in here. In here I have all of my linens, and I told you I did not super prepare for this tour. Everything just kind of is as it is, aside from I did my typical Sunday cleaning, but I love this piece so much. I like to style it very minimally, and then above it I have have this mirror that I got on Facebook Marketplace for $40, and I got this years ago. I love it. On each side of the mirror, I framed our wedding signature drink cards that I also photographed and then designed. I think it fits well in here because it's a dining room, and they're obviously cocktails, and it's just another way to add a little sentimental piece of art. And it was free. This is another faux floral piece. I put this together using all florals from Michael's, and I love that I can have this every single year now. I don't have to invest in a bunch of real florals and have to redo it every year. Instead, I invested once and now I have it. Over here, I hung our wedding timeline, and I always had in mind that I wanted to hang this in our future bedroom. However, I had this idea when we were moving in that I could hang this here in the dining room, and then I could swap out the fabric banner with any kind of hanging menu or sign that I want, depending on what I'm hosting, and it's been such a hit. I love doing it. And the sign's just so beautiful. So again, it was kind of like free art. Once we had it, it was meant to be hanging in our home. I always have roses all over the house, and then we also have matchbooks here and there. These matchbooks are from our wedding and then also Matt's 30th birthday party. Lots of candles that are rarely lit because I am afraid of the kittens getting into them, but they're sleeping right now. Then I found Matt this oyster plate while we were just in Paris at the Paris flea market, and it's so beautiful, so I had to put it on display. Our dining room also has this gorgeous built-in on both sides of the window. I love to keep different hosting pieces in there that we don't use too often, but can just pull out when we have guests over. Then if you go all the way down on each side, we have a cat scratching post that looks like a couch. They actually love these things, and you know what? They don't look so bad. And here is the matching built-in on the other side. Now let's move on to the kitchen, which is of course very important to me. However, it's a little bit small, so I'm excited for our new kitchen, but this kitchen is really, really beautiful. It has really great bones. It gets the job done. I wish I had more counter space, but you'll see in here, I try to decorate really purposefully with all things that I use. All of my kitchen supplies I like to keep beautiful so that they are out and about, easy to access, and again, double as decor. Coming in right from the dining room, you'll see on the right wall, we have our coffee section, which let's get into that first. These sconces were the first things I ever hung using a power drill. Is that what it's called? A drill. Yeah, a drill. See, I'm still learning, but I've never felt so handy in my life than when I put these on the wall. And I did the renter-friendly hack, which is regular sconces. I cut off the cords in the back, and then these are battery-operated lights. So easy, and it looks so elevated. It really finished the space. I guess I should have talked about these first. These shelves, don't they look like marble? Well, they're actually just wooden shelves that I got on Etsy that they covered in marble contact paper. And then I ordered these little gallery rails that I just have set right on top. I think these are called wishbone brackets. I think I got those in Anthropology. And then I just have all my coffee supplies. These French little juice glasses that I use for pulling our shots of espresso. I thrifted those. Thrifted these gorgeous teacups. And then I have some specialty coffee grounds, coconut sugar, and then I like to collect these little sugar packets from traveling, and I just keep them in here and never use them. At the top, we have a photo I took when I was visiting Nice with my best friend, and just all the little trinkets you can need for your coffee bar. We have the espresso machine, and I honestly wouldn't recommend this one. We're looking to replace it. The Nespresso milk frother, which I would recommend. I think it's phenomenal. And this little dresser I found at a thrift store for $145. It has a gorgeous marble top, and the rest of it's black. I use it for all of our spices, for coffee essentials, and more spices. For the coffee bar, we have our door that leads to the garage in the basement, which is where our laundry is, and I will not be showing you that because it is basically a dungeon. But I really love, again, the bones of this kitchen. The tile work, the countertops. It just feels so cozy. It feels traditional, a little bit Parisian somehow, and I feel so lucky to live in here while we do. Rapid fire without showing you anything inside the cabinets because again, we're running out of space. We have this little conventional toaster oven air fryer situation, some coffee cups, or glasses I should say, along with some coffee mugs that Matt and I painted for each other. They both say I love you in our own handwriting. Over here we have a windowsill with a little ledge, some champagne glasses that we just thrifted in Paris, always fresh flowers, a candle, little spoons for Charlotte and Felix, our kitten, more fresh flowers, some plates that I loved that I thrifted. I think they were $2 each. This painting that Matt's grandfather did, I love it. The colors, the onions, the texture, it's just so beautiful. We have this aqua true for our water. It's not gorgeous, but it also could be a lot worse. And then I thrifted this lamp. We have some rosemary and a candle. And over here we have my KitchenAid with some more utensils. And honestly, I use this KitchenAid way more than I ever thought, and I don't even bake that often. So keep that in mind if you've been thinking about getting one. This cutting board was a wedding gift, and I love to have it out. It obviously makes so much sense to have a cutting board out on the counter for use, and it's also just super gorgeous. It might seem weird to have some couple portraits in the kitchen. However, I love these. They're my husband and I eating French fries at our engagement shoot and then at our wedding, and we love French fries. Who doesn't? And that cute little picture at the top that I haven't replaced the picture of. I thrifted the frame and it came with that little house. Over here, if we're looking down, that's where the kittens eat their food. I would have loved to change this light fixture. However, it could be worse, and again, it's a rental. Over this way, we have our fridge, some paintings that I've gathered through the years, our trash can, which is on display, and you know, it's okay. And I love that our stove area is right next to a window. I think it is so gorgeous. It adds so much light to the area. However, in terms of the stovetop itself, the stove oven situation, whatever this is, would not recommend. It doesn't heat evenly on the inside. It's coming for my career, ruining my life, if you will. Over here, we have fresh herbs in a pot, which I love to do. A candle that smells like tomatoes, and then some cooking twine, as well as all of my utensils in a really pretty pot that I have for years now from Anthropologie. And then in the middle, there's this cookbook that my mother-in-law gave me at my bridal shower. It's family recipes, and I love having that on display. I think it's so personal and such a great touch to the kitchen. Over here on the other side of the stove, we have lots of cooking necessities like oils, salt, pepper, and a really great way to just keep those looking really beautiful is keeping them in pretty jars or picking ones that come with really pretty packaging on their own and then consolidating all of them in a nice tray. I love this marble one from Home Goods. So down the hallway we have our closet that has cleaning supplies, all of our sweatshirts, and I don't even know, just miscellaneous things. We're not going to get into it, like vitamins and supplements, things like that. Go into the dining room, the kitchen, Matt's office / the cat room, which we're gonna skip entirely. Trust me, you're gonna thank me. Bathroom here and bedroom here. So we'll do bathroom, bedroom, and then we'll head out. As you might have been able to guess, I wish we could change that light so much, but again, it's really not that big of a deal. If you haven't figured out that I love to decorate with plates by now, I really don't know what to tell you, but I love these, and the reason that I fell in love with these is because they're called the Charlotte plates, which is Charlotte, our first cat's name. Heading into the bathroom, it has really good bones. Really love the original tile in here, and that's what kind of inspired more of a black and white, simplistic hotel boutique kind of situation in terms of the design in here. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a spin so that you can see everything, if that works. Transparently, those candles are never lit, but how pretty does it look with them lit? I wish I could have them like that all the time. We have some artwork. That's one of our wedding photos. I'm not sure how well you're able to see it with the glare. And then I took that in Chicago. It's of a chandelier. On top of the toilet, we do have some little cute decor. This gorgeous candlestick, some room spray, and some matchsticks. Also transparently, I would totally change these towels. Haven't found ones that are worth the money yet. Not that towels cost a lot of money, but you just gotta really pick and choose what you're spending your money on, you know, and that has not been top of priority. Randomly enough, this bathroom did not have a place to put a towel, so I thrifted that towel hook, and it's gorgeous. It's like a cast iron. I love this little corner over here. Inside of this gorgeous vessel, I have just tons of perfume samples that anyone is free to use anytime they come over. Then we have some cotton swabs, and then this candle that we got when we were staying in Paris. The hotel gifted it to us, and it smells like their lobby, which is so fun. I really feel like we lucked out with the tile in the vanity. The vanity is pretty good. As far as older home vanities go, I'd say I love the dark wood color, and then the marble top. Again, the tile on the wall and the floor. I really love the bones of this bathroom. Be sure to say hi to Taylor Swift on your way in, but come on, let's see the last room. This is our bedroom, and believe it or not, for the first time in mine and Matt's relationship, we did just upgrade to a queen bed. We have had a twin bed, yes, a twin, or our whole relationship. And this is our new queen bed. It's a Helix mattress, and let me just tell you, it is the most comfortable mattress. We love it. Of course, upon first glance, something that I want to change so badly is a light fixture, but we're not going to. I even found one for $60 at an antique shop. Gorgeous crystal chandelier. It would totally change the whole look of this room, but it's okay. Coming in, we have, again, our new queen bed. I love the bedding that we got from Amazon. So comfy. And then we had done this tapestry look-alike situation. It's actually a blanket that I had made on Etsy. The photo that I used for it is one of our engagement photos, but you can hardly tell that it's us. It's us in a canoe or a kayak or something on the water near the college that we went to and met at. And I just love what it looks like in this room. We hung it on a curtain rod and it just feels so luxurious. Then again, of course, for the sconces, those are renter friendly. We just cut out the back, the cords, and use battery operated light bulbs. My dad made this headboard again when I moved into my first apartment after graduating college, and I just love it. It's so timeless, it's beautiful. He did a great job. We have these exceptionally poor quality nightstands, to be honest, from, I don't even remember. I have had them for years now. I would love to change these out. I did change the hardware when we put these together to these gorgeous flowers from Anthropology, but I can't wait to have a better nightstand than these, to be honest. They are chipping, scratching, they're old. They're really low quality. It's fine though. They work, they do the job. There isn't a ton of storage in this house, and I have a lot of clothes, admittedly. And even so, they don't even fit in this, but we did put this together when we moved in. It is, not worth the money. It's gorgeous. However, it was terrible to put together. I mean, it's fine, but I wouldn't say it's the best quality. So I will say I tried to find something on Facebook Marketplace instead of this armoire, but couldn't find anything. And then, there's also the matter of getting it moved, all of that. But it's gorgeous. I do love it. It just wouldn't be worth the money. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Behind our front door of our bedroom, well, our only door, we have these two picture frames, which I framed our vows from our wedding. I love this touch in the room. And let me get a little closer and show you some of the details that I think worked really well. Mine are the first ones you'll see, and it starts on the first page. It starts with Matt, and then you go to Matt's down here. It's his last page, and it ends with Kayla, which, so that just brought me joy. And then since the vow books were too small for the opening, I just added some photos that I had from our engagement shoot that we just had in the house. If you're coming this way, we have, again, another problem piece of furniture. This dresser, it's an IKEA dresser. I'm sure you've seen it. And not only is it an IKEA dresser, but it's an IKEA dresser from Facebook Marketplace. So just guess what kind of stage this is in its life. Probably on its last leg. But again, it works for the time being. I can't wait to replace it, but gotta be realistic. Above it, we originally had a TV, and I hated the look of it. So I replaced it when Matt was gone with this Monet duplicate situation from Home Goods that is, again, of the water lilies. I love the colors of this. It was like my best Home Goods find ever, and it just brings so much color into this bedroom. I love it. On this side, we have our first wedding invitation framed, and I say first because we were a COVID couple and had to postpone our wedding, but I love having stuff like that framed. On this wall, we have this lamp, which I thrifted and then replaced the shades for ones that I loved at Target. And we have that really beautiful art that I got in an antique shop. I love the radiator. I hate the air conditioner. But again, this is very realistic. Not much you can do. This is one of the only windows in the house that can fit an air conditioner like this. And otherwise, we would have no air. Something else I would have loved to do was bring the curtains up higher, but because there were already holes in the walls from where the original curtain rods were, I just left it and I replaced the curtains that were there with these gorgeous velvet striped ones from Anthropology, and it just adds a really luxurious look. Over in this area, I thrifted that light fixture from Facebook Marketplace, I believe $60, and it is gorgeous. Then I thrifted both of these frames. The top one is a photo of us in Italy at our best friend's wedding. wedding, and then one of our wedding photos, and then I have this tiny little desk that I use as a vanity. There's a mirror inside that drawer, and then you'll also see on top of it I have my jewelry, a candle, and I keep every card from people. So those are my most recent years, cards, notes, special little moments like that. Over here we have this chair that was actually my great-grandmother's, and then a fan on top of it because we are people that have to sleep with noise. And then we have Matt's nightstand. Matt's? Did I say Matt or math? I'm getting really tired, so we're gonna have to wrap this up. I just got what I am believing is the final low battery warning. So I hope that was fun, maybe helpful. I think I missed a bunch of things, but I love that I got a chance to show you around the house. It's going to change a lot over the next year, month, who knows? I change things up all the time. Up next for this house is we're decorating for Christmas. It's Sunday. I have it slated in my calendar to decorate on Wednesday. So I'm hoping to share all of that with you and lots more because I love YouTube. I love watching it, but it is quite the beast to keep on top of in terms of content creation and editing, and I do it all myself. So to all that do that, I give you so many props. Anyway, I'm rambling and I'm gonna lose batteries. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.